let me guys tell you. So you have given here this response value to this input, but this is the cool part about React. You cannot change state directly. So there are special functions or special methods you can say which way you have to use every time to update the state. So here, this is gonna be the set response, and if anything is not changing because you have assigned this response value to this input function, the response value is empty string. So if you try writing state directly, it will not reflect the changes. So what you have to do is you have to use an on change event because you are typing in your input field. So you're gonna do this and you're gonna take event. You can also write it e. I'm gonna write it like event, and you can use the arrow function. And now you will call the set response. What you're gonna do inside this, you're gonna pass the event dot target dot value. So what's the target? Our target is this, and what's our event? Our event is on change event, and whatever value is passed inside this field, we're gonna get it and set it to the state. Okay. Now let me go ahead and show you guys again. If I go here, I type, voila, it's working. Everybody got this? Okay. Can you please turn off your camera? Thanks. Everybody got this? Should we move on? Anyway, there's a doubt in this part. Come on, guys. Okay. We have, now we got our two numbers that we drawn from this input field, and we have our type. We also have this input tag here. We also have the score. Now all we have to do is, you have to, submit the answer so that the state updates. So you have to mutate the things, right? So let me go ahead and I have to, use a special kind of, you can declare a function right above the return. So I'm gonna go ahead and write like const, and I'm gonna write a key press function, and inside it I'm gonna pass an event right here, and I'm gonna take this. Okay, console. Let's post console and log it out. So we're gonna pass inside the response. But we're gonna pass it inside. This is on key down. So this on key down is all the buttons that you press on your keyboard. So like you are pressing down the arrow button or you're pressing down the enter button. So let me go ahead and show this to you guys. Open up the console. If you write, you can see right here, when I press enter, you will got the value right here. And if you're typing like with me, like hello people, also typing, and when you press enter, it will display out the whole result. So this, we are getting this, we are extracting this input from this input bar. Now what we have to do is we have to trigger this event only when enter is pressed. So if e dot key, so this event dot key is equal to enter. Okay, we pass it like this, and then we're gonna console and log it out. Console response. Okay, right here. I open up my console, and when I type, it's no longer printing, directly. But if I press enter, you're gonna can see that what I've entered here. It's printed right here in the console. So if I type hello world, now go and press enter, you guys can again see hello world is printed right here. So we did a bit of our part. So now let's go ahead and make this functionality so that every time you put your answer, the score should update if it's correct, and these two numbers should also update. Okay, so the level increases. So yeah, and not here, right? So what we can do right here is we have to, we're gonna store our const on we're gonna store our response in this variable called answer. Inside this, we're gonna pass this an integer, and after this, do is we're gonna write a check right here. Okay, so what the check will be is if we have to set some conditions, because before starting with this, because if the answer is correct, the number should update and score should update, but the answer is wrong. What if the answer is wrong? It will yell at you like, oops, you went wrong, or you typed the wrong answer. So now you're gonna take this answer, and you're gonna compare it with, can anybody tell me what will be the condition for the right answer? Anyone? Come on, guys. Okay, nobody. Go ahead and tell you guys. So you're gonna put num1 plus num2. So it's gonna compare, like we are taking the response. We are redeclaring a variable called const and called answer, and we're gonna take the response inside it, and we're gonna compare it with, like, you in JavaScript you usually do this like double equal or triple equal. This is a part of bit of JavaScript, so you can go ahead and watch it on any YouTube channel. I'm not gonna get into this, but if you have to compare two things, this stands for loosely equal. So if the number is like, if the number you entered is like a string, so the string cannot be equal to, suppose that my answer is like 22, okay, and this will be like 22. This should not be equal, because this is a string, this is a number. But if you put loosely equal type, the this value will be coerced, and it will be, this technique is called boxing, and this will be, converted to a number value, and this will be converted like this. So the condition will be true. But if you use strict equal, like this, it's gonna fail. The coercion is not allowed right here. So this is why we use triple equal mostly. Inside it, you can, set your score. First, what we will do is we will set our score. So yeah, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna, increase our score by 1. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna add 1 to this. So if guys, if you guys allow me, I can do. And okay, can you guys see the score is increased? Did you guys see? Come on, guys, at least say it in the chat. Cool. But what if I wrote like 5 wrong answers? It's doing nothing, right? So let me go ahead again to our text editor, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna update the number as well. The two number that we are getting right here, we also have to update this. So to do this, we're gonna use setNum and setNum2 functions. So you go ahead and do this like, and I'm gonna produce a random. So in JavaScript, there's a cool feature called math.random, using which you can generate a random number. So yeah, and this is gonna generate number between 0 to 1, and it can be floating point as well. So we have to at least, get the number in between 0 to 10. So what we can do is we will go ahead and multiply it by 10. Okay, and still after this random number, generated random number, can also be a floating point number. So we don't want that. So we're gonna use another function called math.ceil or floor. You can, take this function, you can round off, like if I go ahead and write math dot the function, okay, and after that we're gonna do the same for num2. We're generating nothing, we are doing nothing, because we are generating a random number out of this. Go ahead and write 2 snc generated. Okay, so guys, I think you're getting everything. Cool. But here's a problem. When I update my, when I update my answer, this remains the same. So I have to clear it as well, this input field. So how we can do this? We're gonna go and write like set our. What we can do is we can take this set response, and we're gonna set it to empty string again. So if you guys go and write it like this, it's working, right? But it is gonna be, continue as long as you keep answering it. So you have to stop it somewhere. For that, we're gonna use conditional rendering. Okay, so if you guys allow me, I can do that. I'm gonna put a condition right here. So if response, sorry, if score, is greater than or equal to 5, which is true. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna stop the program right here. That saying that you won, while I you won. So we're gonna write a div inside this, and inside this we're gonna tag. Inside this instrument tag, I'm gonna write like any message, Yahoo, you win. If the score is greater than or equal to 5, this condition will run. If it's false, this condition will keep running. So it's a pretty much kind of a if-else statement for you guys. So if you go like 2, 5, and 7, Yahoo, you won. You guys got it? Everyone clears how state working, how state is updating. Think of it, if you were writing this all stuff in JavaScript, how headache it would have been for you guys. Can you guys see how React is easy? You just have to take the state. I'm doing nothing. I'm just taking the state and I'm updating it. Are you guys clear till now? Come on, guys.
Yes.
I've seen this part like we are updating the value. We are also returning things. Now what we have to do is, what if I write a wrong answer? So it should yell at me, right? So let me go ahead and write a condition again. Right, and else statement right here, and we're gonna declare another. You can declare another thing like another state called error, and inside this you're gonna pass error. Okay, and firstly you will give it a boolean type. So I'm gonna give it false value because initially it will be false, and here I have to if the answer is correct I have to keep it false. So I'm gonna take this error method and keep it false right here, and if the answer is correct, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set error. Okay, this is the pretty much part. So, and I'm gonna display a message right here below this input tag, and this message says that with a style called color red, so that it looks like that it's an error. And inside this I'm gonna pass in the condition. So you guys know about, if you have been into programming, you guys must know about ternary operator, which I'm going to use right here. So that if error is true, okay, so what you're going to do is you have to write a small thing like oops, once it's wrong, like this, and if you can pass the empty string. Okay, so we have written our condition, and we have to update it as well. So what we can do is we're gonna reset the response. Empty string. Okay, I go ahead and write 2 6. If I go, yes, the answer is wrong. It stopped me right there and it's asking for my answer again. So if I type the right answer, Just continue, but the wrong answer. But the right answer. Okay, guys. Are you guys clear to this point? Anyone has a doubt? You guys must be clear till now. Okay. This is how state works, guys. This is the whole thing, like how state works. And I'll tell you about use effect, which is a life cycle method used in React. Earlier, when we used to use class-based component, we had to we had to write life cycle methods like component did mount. So this thing is like when the component mounts, you will see. I'll gonna show you right in the slides. Can you guys see my slide? Hello.
Yes.
So each component in React has a life cycle method, okay, which you can monitor and manipulate during in three main phases. The three phases are mounting, updating, and unmounting. So the first phase when your components get rendered in the DOM, it's the phase when it mounts, and when you switches back and you update some kind of its state, like we are doing in this game, we are updating the num1 and score we are updating. So this is the kind of the second phase, like it's updating, okay, and the unmounting part is whenever you exit that component. So for example, you go to some page and come back to another page, so the page that you entered earlier will be unmounted. So this is a part of unmounting. So earlier what we had to do is we had to write three different functions, like to mount to check the mounting of the component. We had to write like component did mount, and when the component updates, we had to apply some should component update or component should update, like this. And when components up down when components unmount, there was a function called component will unmount. So it was a pretty mess thing to do. Now in React, what we can write is we can write simple use effect function, okay. So what use effect does is when your component mounts like this, const sorry, I'm gonna write like console. Whenever this component, this whole app component mounts, you're gonna see the message right here. Let me guys go ahead and show you. And what it's yelling at me is use effect is not defined because I have not imported it. So let me go ahead and do for you. I can go ahead and write here. So all the side you can see, guys, when the component is mounted, before initially it was nothing there, but when the component mounted, you can see this. And there's still bell. So we're gonna take a look in this use effect more when we're gonna go to our async callback part, which is scheduled in future. I think it's gonna be after 2 days, I guess. So we'll get to see this use effect method more at that time. We'll now skip it for now. This is the enough for today. Thank you guys for joining. If anybody has any kind of question, you can ask. I'm gonna also update push the code to the GitHub as well. I think clear? Cool. Shalini, you can start with the quiz. Okay, wait. He's asking for set error. Stop. Okay, Azhar, what part did you not understand? And exactly set error. Elaborate. Okay. So the ternary condition is like you are checking the ternary condition is like if this error is true. So if this error is true, and this gonna be happen when you type your answer wrong. So the when error will be true. So after this question mark, the thing that falls here will be oops. You can write any message if this error is true, and if this error is wrong, you are displaying nothing. So if I go to the console and elaborate you guys, like in JavaScript, everything like empty string is also true. So if I write true, and here I write true, false, I'm gonna get true. Okay, What if I write null or undefined? Let me go ahead and write false. So I'm gonna get false. So what this ternary part do is, if the first thing right here, if it's true, so this is like this mostly like if else statement. So this is the if condition. If this thing is true, it will run this thing. If this thing is false, so it's gonna fall back to this else condition.